Welcome to Countdown to World Youth Day, EWTN Radio's exclusive World Youth Day coverage, live from Rio, with Elena Rodriguez and Tom Price.
Good morning, everyone, from EWTN's World Headquarters here in Alabama, in Birmingham, Alabama. Tom Price with you, along with our girl from Ipanema, Elena Rodriguez, live in Rio. Good morning to you. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I know what that is.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, Tom.
Price.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
In Portuguese.
That's right.
All right.
I can see him smiling now.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you very
Well.
much. What a nice thing to do. Thank you. And you got that whole
Feliz
band up.
cumpleaños.
You got that whole band up this early in the morning. God bless you.
Yeah.
For
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, they're in the studio here.
They're in the studio. They're the band from Ipanema.
So, Elena, you're
not
not.
just the girl from Ipanema.
I'm hearing that you're not by yourself this morning.
I am not, and I am blessed, literally, because we have Father John Paul Zeller here with us, our recently ordained priest, back
good to be
June
here.
22nd. Welcome to our broadcast again, Father.
I just happened to walk in the room, and Elena just gave me those eyes, and she
Yeah.
said, are you available
Yeah,
to
you-
do this? And I said, of course.
You got.
He
I'll
walked,
do it.
he
Yeah.
walked in the room to bless the equipment and the broadcast, so that was very nice of you, Father.
That was great.
Well, thanks for jumping in, Padre. This is our second to last day of World Youth Day broadcasts. I know that we're coming off of
Sure,
something
Tom.
very important from last night, and that was the Via Crucis.
Yeah, the way of the cross, and there was a certain kind of a different tone in our Holy Father's voice. During the last couple of days, we've been hearing a lot of kind of exuberance and vibrance, but last night there was a certain seriousness to it all. There was a certain seriousness to the tone of his voice, obviously to the tone of the whole night, the way of the cross, the way that he was talking about. He kind of gave just a kind of a basic theology and outline of what human suffering is. And as you know, suffering's not something to joke about.
No.
Every one of us has some kind of suffering, some kind of cross or weakness that we're carrying with us. And the Holy Father, the way that he talked about it was very serious, and you could tell that he was identifying, and he was telling all of us that there's no suffering that Jesus is unaware of. His basic message, I think, that you've seen consistently all throughout his addresses is, we are not alone. We are not alone in our sufferings.
And how comforting
very
is that?
comforting.
It really is.
The Stations of the Cross last night were all conceived to go along with the trials and the challenges of modern day youth. So there was a double meaning there, of course, the spiritual meaning of suffering in life, and leading up to, of course, resurrection, which we will come to celebrate with the big ceremony Sunday morning with the closing mass for World Youth Day. But the underlying message which was also very evident, was that trial of modern day youth. It was very well put together.
Yeah. And the Holy Father, he had several questions. And this is kind of interesting. This is kind of a way that John Paul II and Pope Emeritus Benedict XVI and now Francis, they're very comfortable asking questions. And I think that's asking a question provokes something in each of us, doesn't it? It provokes, obviously, it makes us think. And he said three questions that he posed to the people of Brazil. He said, "Dear young people of Brazil, during these 2 years that it has been crisscrossing through your country, what has the cross of Jesus left for you, in each one of you?" So we all know that the World Youth Day cross is passed on. It was passed on from the youth of Madrid to the youth of Brazil, and it went all throughout the country of Brazil. And, the Holy Father says, what has the cross left for you in each of you? And what does the cross teach you? There's something that the cross has a message for each one of us. And, I think I said this last night, and I think this is what the Holy Father wants to impart upon the youth is when he passes over that cross tomorrow to whoever it is,
the new country.
The new country on Sunday, what is that cross going to mean for you, for whoever it is? Because it has a meaning for each one of us, a personal meaning.
Exactly. And Father, over breakfast this morning with the EWTN crew, you were also commenting that the Holy Father's speeches have been analyzed, and there are some words that come up often, very often. There's like a theme.
Yeah. There are several words that come up very often, and two of those, the first one is joy. And obviously you can see that in his face, in his encounters with people, that he has this joy of the Lord. And again, this is not something that's new. You saw it all throughout the last, several pontificates. This joy of the Lord that we're to exude, that we're to have. The Archbishop said in the opening Mass that we're to infect those that we meet with the love and the joy of Christ. And that's a pretty powerful word, to infect.
It is a marvelous choice of words. It really is. When you think about that, it's
it was a marvelous choice of words to infect with the love of Christ. Those words that he uses more often are mercy that he uses, and along with joy. And one priest did an analysis, and over 100 times he used those two words in addresses.
Wow!
So it was, and we can see that too. This Pope obviously has talked a lot about forgiveness, and it's something we all need to take to heart. That each one of us, forgiveness is a gift from God. It's not something that each one of us can muster up on our own strength. Our proud, fallen human nature won't let us. It's a gift from God. And, maybe for some of our viewers that are listening that can't be here at World Youth Day to hear the message of the Pope, just to take that message to heart that, we all have maybe some hurt, some pains in our life, that maybe we're holding on to, maybe grudges that maybe family members, we need to ask God for the gift of forgiveness and not be afraid. The Lord, He wants to forgive us. You could say, that's the whole reason He came for our salvation, was to reconcile all humanity, to forgive the sins of each one of us personally. So that's an awesome message that every one of us can take away, young and old. And he emphasizes that World Youth Day is not just for the young, but it's for the old as well.
Yes, the old as well. The old as well.
Yeah.
There is no age limit. And I do remember in Madrid, World Youth Day 2011, there was a group of senior citizens who went to World Youth Day, and they just said, we're beyond the age limit, which is technically 35. We're just a little bit beyond, but we're still going to come, and we're still going to enjoy it. We're young at heart.
Well, I said to somebody last night, I said, compared to God, we're young.
Good one.
What a great phrase.
God is eternal, and there's something that young people have to bring to society. And the Holy Father talked about how, it's not just about, the youth here, but he talked about the wisdom of older people, the elderly, that they have to bring to the young people. And he did this in the context of Saints Joachim and Anne yesterday. He said the importance of grandparents. And that kind of struck me because I know in my own life how important my grandfather and my grandmother were to me, on both sides of my dad and my mom, and how they imparted a wisdom. The young people are looking for meaning, for purpose in life. They're asking the fundamental questions of life. What is life about? And those that have gone to, have lived life. Our parents and grandparents, they have so much to offer us. And he was saying to us young people, I don't feel, I'm 37. I don't know if I'm in the category of young anymore.
Well, you look very young, Father.
I feel it. Maybe it's the grace of ordination.
No doubt, sure.
Which you are still very much enjoying, because when you say that, you're beaming.
I love it. It's awesome being a priest. But that the older generation, our parents and grandparents, have so much wisdom to offer us, and the Holy Father was saying to the young people to be open to that. To be open to to look to your parents and grandparents for guidance, because they have so much to give.
And how fitting, yesterday on the feast day of Saint Anne and Saint Joachim, and here in Brazil it is also the feast day of, well, not feast day, but the grandparents' day. And in many countries in Latin America, it is celebrated as grandparents' day, including most of Latin America, and some countries in Europe as well. I know for sure Spain does celebrate Grandparents' Day today. So it's very good that there's Mother's Day, Father's Day, and of course Grandparents' Day. Well, as we are continuing our live broadcast from World Youth Day here in Rio de Janeiro with Father John Paul Zeller and Elena Rodriguez, the so-called girl from Ipanema. We are also watching a big screen here in our broadcast booth here at the Media Center by Copacabana Beach, and we are following the papal motorcade right now. The Holy Father is inside that Fiat vehicle that we have all grown to love by now. It's considered the new Pope Mobile, I guess, for rainy situations. The day is drizzly, it's gloomy, and we have some aerial shots of the papal motorcade going through the streets of Rio. When the clouds break up, we can take a look, and it really, the weather is going to get better. That's what we all hope. But we really have been struggling with a lot of rain, which is unusual to get 3-4 days straight of rain, even in wintertime, it is wintertime in Rio right now. Yeah. And the Holy Father is en route to the cathedral, the Metropolitan Cathedral, and we want to thank Joan Lewis as well, because she has been working intensely on the other side of the pond gathering information, and we have all been working together. So she's following the Pope. She's our Vaticanista, and she's always following the Pope, but now there's a notion between her and the Pope right now. The Pope is not in the Vatican. She's still very much in tune with all the news coming out from the Vatican and that the Pope is generated. So we are working together as a group, part of the big EWTN family, and the Pope will celebrate Mass, that's correct, at 9 a.m. Rio time, which will be approximately in another 45 minutes. We will join our EWTN television crew with Doug Barry and Father Mark Mary Christina, who will be hosting the live coverage of the Mass at the cathedral with Pope Francis and the bishops of World Youth Day, as well as the priests and the seminarians and the religious, who have. We spoke to a priest this morning who's staying at our hotel from Detroit, Michigan, and he was very proud to be holding his credentials hanging from his neck and was getting ready to go to the cathedral, and he was really, really happy. He just had to tell us.
Oh, that is so cool. That's so cool. And well, you were going to finish your statement there?
Oh, yes. It's going to be very colorful. The cathedral can hold 5,000 people. And so, of course, as any ceremony with Pope Francis, it is going to be very, very colorful. And it is also very fitting. Pope John Paul II has been there at the cathedral in Rio 3 times already.
Really?
So this is another Pope coming to the Rio Cathedral. It's Pope Central right now.
Fantastic. Well, as Elena is saying, we're going to join our TV coverage in about 15 minutes from right now, but we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more from Elena, Father John Paul, and everything else going on there at World Youth Day 2013 here on EWTN. So please stay with us.
Pope Francis is in Rio with multitudes of young people to celebrate World Youth Day 2013. EWTN is there with a full crew to bring you the coverage you've come to expect on television, radio, and the internet, with a 360-degree view of this historic event. But we can't do it without the help of our EWTN family. We need your prayers and financial support to share this message with the world. Please be generous and give today. Donate online at EWTN.com or write to EWTN, 5817 Old Leeds Road, Irondale, Alabama, 35210.
Are you a Catholic physician, healthcare professional, or medical student? The Catholic Medical Association helps doctors and healthcare professionals grow in faith, maintain ethical integrity, and provide excellent healthcare in accordance with the teachings of the Church. The CMA offers professional, spiritual, and moral support through local chapters and annual national conferences featuring world-class speakers and CME credits. For more information, go to cathmed.org.
The Knights of Columbus, founded by Father Michael J. McGivney, has become the largest Catholic lay organization in the world. EWTN takes you to San Antonio, Texas for the Knights' 131st Supreme Convention. Doug Keck will host EWTN's live coverage and a full lineup of special programs focusing on the Knights and their work. Coverage begins Tuesday, August 6th at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, live from San Antonio, here on the Global Catholic Network, EWTN.
Let's return to EWTN Radio's exclusive World Youth Day coverage, live from Rio.
Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. Our live coverage continues now with Elena Rodriguez. Father John Paul, is he still there with you there, Elena?
Very much so.
Very
and
good.
We were just now talking about the way that the Pope encourages vocations.
Yeah, the Pope met with seminarians and novices and religious a couple of weeks ago, and he warned them about he said, quote, a culture of the temporary, end quote. And what he's saying is it's so hard for us nowadays to make a definitive decision in life. He said all of us are victims of this so-called, this culture of the temporary. He warned about a materialism, us grabbing on the material things and trying to find our happiness and our joy in material things. But he said, those are passing. He said joy is not born from possessions, not born from having material things, but it's born from an encounter. From this encounter with Jesus. That's what true joy does not come from any possessions. It's born from a relationship. It's born from being accepted. And most of all, being accepted by our God. God, he said to seminarians and religious that, God says to us, you are important to me. And that's beautiful for each one of us to hear that,
it is.
The Lord says to each one of us that we are important, and that he loves us and that he's counting on us. And that's the message that we're going to hear, I think tomorrow when he calls us to be missionaries, to go out and to be disciples, is, to encourage us that, Jesus is counting on us, to bring the gospel to those that we meet, Tom.
And how important it is for young people to hear this calling, that there is something more than just there's something temporary surrounding them, but there's something that goes beyond that, and that they want to be challenged. They want to be challenged. And speaking of young people who were challenged, Father Tom, have you ever had lunch with the Pope?
No, I have not.
Not today.
Not today, Father.
Well, it's still early.
No.
It's not lunchtime in Rio.
I'm trying to get a word in, but
I was blessed to talk with one of the 12 young people who had lunch with Pope Francis yesterday.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? They were selected. And we had a wonderful conversation. I'd like to share this with you. Just listen, because it's just delightful. Absolutely.
How has this day, meeting Pope Francis and having lunch with him, changed your life?
It was really very exciting. I didn't expect the Pope to be so close to the youth, to know very well the problems, the modern problems of the youth. He is a very simple man. He is very close to us. We didn't have an official lunch, We just had a conversation between each other. It was very impressive. I think I will now follow the words of the World Youth Day here in Rio, go and teach all the nations, because it gave me so much expression, so much joy that I can share it with everyone.
And what words would you have for all young ladies around the world if they could hear you right now?
I advise you to come here to this next World Youth Day or wherever you can visit it, because it's so much experience. You can feel yourself a body, part of the body of the Christ, part of the body of the living church, and it's really living and it's really young.
And how did you find out that you were going to be invited to have lunch with the Pope?
I received an email. It was a kind of email that all volunteers receive. So first I just decided it was a mistake or it was a joke. And I can tell it everyone because it was written as top secret, because the Pope wanted it to be a surprise. So the first time I didn't believe it, but then when I received the confirmation, I was so happy. I was singing, I was crying, I went to the church and I prayed a lot. And almost everybody, even when I couldn't. So I was really very happy.
Do you have any siblings, brothers, sisters?
Yes, I have a sister and I have cousins, but they haven't known it before, because I also wanted to make a surprise for them. When they see me tomorrow in newspapers or hear me on radio, they will be surprised, I suppose, and very happy for me.
So all they know right now is that you came to World Youth Day as a volunteer to serve. That's all they know.
Yes, it's all they know, and I think tomorrow it will be a great surprise for them.
And what a great surprise to have
absolutely.
lunch.
Absolutely.
12 young people like the 12 apostles. And that was Paulina Grigorieva from St. Petersburg, not Florida, but I'm sure by her enthusiasm you've been able to tell she's an international, multiple language young lady, very well prepared, very enthusiastic. She's from Russia, and she was beaming while we were having this interview. And there are many countries participating in World Youth Day. We also had the chance to speak with Adam Falkowski, and he is from Poland, but he lives in New Jersey right now. He is from a country, Poland, that's already had a World Youth Day in Częstochowa. That was back in 1991 with Pope John Paul II. That was one of the initial World Youth Days.
Yes.
By then, the crowds were a little bit more reduced. I was, I believe, 1.6 million at the closing mass. For the closing mass tomorrow, we're expecting 2 million people here. So, definitely the growing crowds.
It's going to be amazing.
It is going to be amazing. And, well, Adam was just absolutely enchanted to be here at a World Youth Day. And this is the conversation we had with him.
Oh, we are meeting a group from Poland. Where are you from?
We are originally from Poland, but we live in the States, currently in New Jersey. And we came here to meet the Pope.
And what is your name?
My name is Adam Falkowski.
Adam, I take it this is your first World Youth Day?
Actually, my second World Youth Day. My first was in Spain, in Madrid, 2 years ago.
So you must have liked it because you're back.
Yeah, I loved it, and I came back to here.
How many friends are you bringing with you?
There's 24, including me, and two priests, one priest, and 2 nuns come with us on this trip.
And has the priest joining your group, has he been hearing a lot of confessions?
Yes, he was very busy with confessions and making preaches and everything.
And you're holding a big Polish flag over your shoulder there. It's very visible. Is that heavy with the wind and all?
Not really. Actually, let's get into it. It's pretty exciting holding a flag because you're like leading the group.
Were you at the beach, Copacabana, for the welcoming ceremony last night?
No, not yet. We just came in yesterday night, so it's our first time in the city right now.
That's great. I see you have help carrying the flag. That's great. Adam, thank you very much for the interview.
Oh, thank you very much.
And what is your name?
My name's Natalia.
You are also from New Jersey?
Yes. I'm also from the same group.
And you have Polish relatives in your family? Are you Polish?
Yes, I'm Polish. I was born in the U.S., but I'm Polish. My parents came from Poland.
And how many siblings left behind at home?
1 left behind, and Adam was actually my brother.
Oh, that's very good. Okay, so you get to share that as part of your family. What are you telling your folks back at home in New Jersey?
Well, I'm telling them that this is a great experience coming here, meeting youth from all over the world, getting to see the young church, see how they praise and worship God, and just learn from them.
Were you also in Madrid last time?
Yes, I was.
And you are from the same country of our newest saint-to-be, Blessed Pope John Paul. And how does that speak to you? He created World Youth Day. Now you're getting the benefit of that. A different pope, but still the same spirit. How does that speak to you as having the Polish heritage?
It definitely makes the trip very special because coming here, we're aware that Pope John Paul thought of the World Youth Day, and we're very thankful to him for that. And very often when we meet people from other countries, they right away associate us with the Pope, Pope John Paul. So it's definitely nice to be able to do that.
Are other people coming to you, young people asking you for a chance to take pictures with the group and exchange information?
Yes, definitely. Every time they see us, they say Poland, Pope John Paul II, they associate us with him.
You were just now participating in the catechesis here at the Viva Rio Center. What do you think about the catechesis?
Actually, we just came in.
Oh, you just came in? Yes. Oh, okay. How wonderful. Have you participated in any catechesis in the Diocese of New Jersey where you were preparing before coming to Rio?
Yeah, before coming to Rio, we met up with our archdiocese. We had a pre-World Youth Day rally in the Archdiocese of Newark. We had a pilgrim commissioning and blessing before we came here. And this morning we had catechesis, but it was Polish catechesis.
Wow, what enthusiasm in her voice, Elena.
Oh, yes. That is just catchy. There's so much to learn, and World Youth Day is so encouraging. We met up with a young man, Zane Chrismeyer from St. Norbert's Parish in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, who is getting ready to go to seminary, and he's coming to World Youth Day to be encouraged and prepared, and will then go to seminary just shortly after. He talked to us as well.
I'll try not to fall in there.
We're walking and talking, and it's drizzling, and it's in the evening, so it's a little bit dark, and there's puddles all over the place. But the road to vocation is very much like that. There's dark moments as well.
Yeah. It's definitely been a bumpy ride. Like I have a vocation director. He's actually a legionary. But he's a really good guy, and he's helping me through it. So that's good.
Tell us a little bit more about your road to vocation. Where are you right now, and what are you considering?
Well, I'm actually right now. I've decided that I am going to become a priest. It's just holy order diocesan. That's basically the last part. So I don't know about that.
All of our EWTN radio listeners around the world will be praying for you. God bless you, and enjoy World Youth Day.
Yeah, you too. God bless you.
Well, Elena, we're just 2 minutes away from joining EWTN television when we'll have the Holy Mass this morning from San Sebastian Cathedral, right?
That is correct. And the Holy Father's just hopped out of the vehicle. He is talking to the Metropolitan Archbishop of Rio, Monsignor Orani Joao Tempesta, right now, and they're walking together. The Pope is about to make his way, climbing up to hop on that wonderful open Pope mobile. And there's a wonderful story that we just heard about last night. I'll say this real quick, but there is a young man from Argentina who's about 18 years old, just graduated from high school, who really wanted to come to World Youth Day, and he had no money. He walked close to 1,800 miles.
Wow!
Walking by foot. And has finally made it here to Rio. And he had so many adventures along the way. He got lost. He's from a small town, so he got lost in big cities. But he found always the comfort of somebody lending a helping hand, letting him spend the night. And he met up with some monks, and they have been taking care of him, both spiritually and physical needs. But anyways, all he wants to do is he just wants to go up and shake the Pope's hands and tell him, you know what, Holy Father, you were right. The only thing we need is Christ. Forget the rest. And he's so enthusiastic. He prayed many rosaries along the way, so he's a young man of faith.
Beautiful. I want to thank you both, Father John Paul, and for you, Elena. Your coverage has been fantastic. We'll look forward to lots more in the days and weeks and months and years ahead. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
It has been our blessing, truly.
Stay tuned.
bless
We'll
you
have
all.
thank you, Father. We'll have the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass coming up next here on EWTN.